What I'm going to cover here is a offset corner mount, but with angled corners. Rather than having a square offset corner, this has got an angle on the edge. I quite like this. Is one of my sort of default designs. I find it just a little bit softer than the square ends, and it works very well as like a double mount as well. What I'm going to use in this, it's corner gauge. This is an option you can get with the machine. Fits in. This one is a 45 degree, but they also come in 37.5 and 30 degree angles for doing different shapes, sort of hexagons, stars, that sort of thing. But the one I use most often is the 45 degree. We have a mount which is cut to size. Because we're doing angle cuts, the normal stops don't work, so we need to mark the back of the mount. The main margin is going to be 50 millimeters with a 5mm offset, so that dimension is 55. The first thing I need to do is draw the lines at 50. So we just go around and put 4 lines on the back of the mount. And reset to 55. And again go around and do 4 lines. And there we have the marks on the back of the mount. We now fit the gauge. There's a little groove in the mat guide, and there's a little rubber seal in there, so you can clip. That just clips in, and then that doesn't move. By varying the distance, you vary the size of the offset. So if we go, that's about 120. I'm going to make it a little smaller. So that's about 115 millimeters, which is about 4.5 inches. And you place the board into the guide, and I'm going to do 4 more lines. There we go. And there's the board all marked out. We can now start cutting, and what we're going to do is start by cutting the little angle pieces. Again, with similar offset corners, what you don't want is the bits of board falling out as you're cutting, and certainly if you're going to do a double mount, you want to keep the centre intact. So the first cuts, they're only about 5-6 millimeters, 1/4 inch long, so we're just going to do a little skip cut. We're not going to do a complete cut. Again, I'm going to be using the groove that's in the blade cartridge as a guide for our start and stop of the cut. So again, put the board into the machine, into the guide. I'm just going to move it down a little so it's a little closer. There we go. Then using the pencil lines as a guide and marking, using the marks and measuring up with the groove on the cartridge holder. I'm just going to back this off about 1 millimeter so I'm actually on the line. There we go, that's better. Little skip cut. this one we finish on the grave. Then it's a case of going around all 4 sides. And there we've done all 4 corners. And take the guide off. Now we're going to be doing the corner. On this we can use the stops, and the corner is at 55 millimeters. So we can set everything at 55. So 55, and we can cut the corners. Again, this is a skip cut. We're not doing a full cut start to finish, but we need to cross the angled line that we did before. So we go into the corner and down, and then starting just before we get to the angled cut and into the corner. And we do that 4 times. And there we've done the 4 corners. Now we just need to finish by doing the main margin cut. We need to set this to 50. But again, because of the angles, we can't use the stops. So we have to do this by eye. Same thing, just back this off a touch. There we go. And this is a full cut, start to finish. It's always best to undercut. So you may need to just do a little bit of fine cutting at the end. But you soon get your eye in with the marks and pencil lines. There we go. Then we carefully, with the blade, and again I'm just slightly undercutting. Okay. Just trying to pick up on the angle cut. They're only about ½ a millimetre out. It's quite easy to pick up on the, and got one more I think, just there we go. And there we have the mount.